Warning. Listening to this show may result in increased levels of inspiration, motivation, and innovation. Side effects can include the immediate urge to take massive action to build a better business and life for yourself and others. You've been warned. Welcome to Influencers Radio with your host, Jack Mize.
And welcome back to another episode of Influencers Radio. Today we are talking with someone that I think is truly an influencer because they help people, or I should say she helps people that helps people. All right. It may sound a little bit redundant, but you'll see what I mean, because my guest today is a coach. All right. And there's lots of different types of coaches, out there. There's fitness coaches, life coaches, business coaches, and they are such an important part of the economy. They're an important part of people's lives, from sports to entrepreneurs. And you'll see that just about every successful person that you read about, that you hear about, that you listen to in interviews has a coach. Even the most successful coaches have coaches. And today, my guest is Anna Rosenberg, and she helps these modern experts with a mission and a message, especially those coaches, trainers, seminar leaders, authors, speakers, highly experienced professionals and consultants that are ready to build a profitable and sustainable business that they can be proud of, and to do it quickly. She has some really amazing stories, and she's helped people transform their lives, and not just by transforming their lives, but it helps them to transform the lives of the people that they work with. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about today is, as good as people are at what they do, as being experts at what they do, sometimes it's not the talent, it's not the hard work that is all it takes to turn it into a successful business. There's many sides of this, and that's exactly what she helps these people that are so good at helping others do. So with that, I want to welcome to Influencers Radio today, Anna Rosenberg. How are you doing, Anna?
Good. How are you, Jack?
Fantastic. I'm really excited to have you here because, that's the one thing that really interests me and really fascinates me, are when you see people that are so successful, especially people that you see out there coaching people that you see speaking from the stage that are really motivating and changing people's lives, to realize that they also have people that they turn to coach them in what they do. So let's talk about that first. What types of clients do you work with? What are the types of people that you are helping out there? What types of industries and businesses are they in?
What I would say is a common denominator of everybody, of all my clients and all the people I help, are people who are great at helping others, right? And helping others get results, transform some aspect of their lives, whether it's their business, their health, their relationships, family relationships, their spirituality, their motivation. My clients go from sports psychologists, therapists, like authors, all kind of trainers, and a lot of them actually are a combination of all those things. Some of them are even have multiple talents, right? It's, let's say, it's irrelevant for our conversation whether they call themselves coaches or seminar leaders. The important thing is they are great at helping people. They are really, really talented at that, and they have this passion, this mission, right? Like they know that that's what they were born to do, and they invested a lot of time and a lot of effort to craft on their craft, to really be masters of the craft they have. But sometimes, they struggle with the profitable business part of the equation, because it's like, talent is not enough, right? So I'm a great X. Why aren't people calling me and booking me? And then they realize that there is a 10% that is missing to be absolutely successful and to make a business a reality. Because a business that is not profitable and sustainable is not real. And I love helping them because it's kind of, they are the most humble, like the greatest people ever to work with. They are so passionate about helping others that it's kind of, it's really helping with that 10% that will make the difference in the success of their business. They have everything else.
And that's something that's is so important and so common that people overlook. And you see it all the time in fields like medicine, the therapy. You talk about how you've worked with a psychologist, and I've seen it in, from chiropractors and other types of industries where they are extremely good at what they do. They are so good at helping people, but being good at what you do doesn't necessarily mean that you are good at running a business doing that. I guess it's a good analogy is the cook that tries to open a restaurant, right? They may be great at cooking, but they may not be a great business person. And it seems like that's what you kind of help people connect the dots with, right? What are some of the big obstacles that you see? These people that are so good at helping others and helping motivate others. What do you see that big obstacle that is preventing them from being successful in making this a business for themselves?
This has been my subject of study for years now. The first realization they have is talent is not enough, right? That's when they realize, okay, there is something missing. And they also come to the conclusion of, why should I know how to build a business? If I'm a dentist, why should I know how to build a practice? If I am why should I know? And then they're like, the most successful people, they are used to investing in finding the help they need. But the real problems here are, what stops them from success is trying to speak an alien language to the perfect person they could be helping. Let me explain this a little bit better. They are great at what they do, and they start and they love what they do. Do you remember when we went to school, and every teacher thought that their subject was the best thing on earth? And the math teacher would say, math is the thing. So there you have this coach. Let's say coach in the sense of helping a person through a change, through a result, through a process that brings them to a result. Let's say it's a coach, right? So they are talking about coaching. They are talking about empowerment. They are talking about confidence. And the perfect person they could be helping is just oh my God, I have this problem. And the only thing they could hear is somebody that says, oh, I have the solution to your problem. So the moment we all, as human beings, remember the time when we had a big problem that we couldn't figure out ourselves. And from that perspective, we put our language that some people call marketing. What is marketing? Because for a lot of experts, marketing is a bad word. It was a bad word for me many years. Marketing is the clear communication of value in the language that the person that is suffering needs to hear, because it's the only language they can understand. Me, here, solution to your problem. That's it, right? It's like, that's the big thing. They start talking about their modality, right? So I do EFT, NLP, like it be, and the person is suffering, I need a solution to my problem. I have a toothache. Like that's the thing. The second thing, I'm going to talk about all the bad words. I started with marketing. So the next thing is the S word is sales, right? And I understand. And I understand why. Because it's like, who wants to say, well, let me have a conversation with another human being who has a problem, right? To see how much money I can squeeze out of them. Nobody, right? Do you like doing that? Like, would you like to go to your business every day to see how can I trick people into buying my stuff so I can get their money? Well, no, not really. But that's not how sales should be. It should be a human conversation in human language. And it's a conversation that starts much earlier than when the person picks up the phone and calls you. That conversation starts with your, another word, is like the positioning thing. It's like, what is this thing? The thing is, position yourself as the only solution to that person that you can help. So when they call you, it's like, with all their suffering and all their insecurity, it's like, I've been obsessed about this problem. It's a big thing. I haven't been able to solve it myself. I don't even have confidence by now that anybody can help me. And they see that and they're like, there is hope. And everything else that they see gives them the confidence to, at the very least, have a conversation with you. And then the only thing you have to have is like a sense of direction for that conversation. Nothing weird, nothing, but it cannot be this like resistant of like, I don't want to ever talk to a human being about money. And if somebody hears this and they get triggered on money, that's another bad word, right? So, because the third obstacle we all have as human beings, we're all human. If we are of a certain age, we have all had at least one problem in our lives. So we can all understand another human being. But the thing is that we also have a human body and a human brain. What does this mean? Sometimes we have a very visceral, real reaction in our bodies. You know, the fight or flight response, all these chemicals in the body, like, and we want to be able to feel the fear and do it anyway, right? I have to go do the presentation and everybody tells me feel the fear. No, what we have to do is also, we're in the 21st century, use the tools that the science has given us to work with our bodies and our brains and not against it, right? And this is something like almost nobody talks about because I don't know why they don't talk about it, but kind of if somebody gets kind of freaked out about money, about having a conversation with another person, about giving a presentation, it's a real obstacle. It's like, and there are tools and there are techniques that help calm down the fear so you are able to do what you want to do, which, by the way, has nothing to do with manipulating people, pushing people, giving people no option and putting them in the corner. Buy or your life will end. We are not talking about doing that. And that conversation that starts when somebody exchanges money with you and they say, look, and by the way, the best clients for all of us, experts, for all of us, are always people who are used to investing in themselves. They are successful in their thing. So they know, okay, in something that I don't know about, I give this person this bunch of printed paper because I know that that's the fastest way through the problem, right? That they are going to help me get there. And that conversation doesn't even finish when they give you the money. That conversation finishes, actually, after you deliver your help.
And that seems to be the thing that most people want to get to, because they're very confident in their ability to help. But, you bring up such an important point about the sales and people's fear of distaste for sales, or their extreme, view of what sales means to their business. And it seems that there's a lot of people that are really great at what they do that almost do things to try to avoid that they think there's ways around having a sales conversation. And I guess the fact is that you don't have a business unless a sale occurs. And so what I'm thinking about is, you help people get over the fact that, well, you know what? If I do these other things, maybe I won't have to sell. Maybe people will just come to me and want to hire me. I've heard you talk about if I just, get more education, or if I get certified, or if I do something to get better at what I'm already good at, that is what I need to do in order to get more business. And that just doesn't happen, does it?
Yeah, that's a Hollywood myth, right? Somebody will discover me. Like, we all go to the movies, right? The main character gets discovered, right? That's not how reality works. And some of us have been to sales courses. So it's not like that we we have just fear of sales because, right? The internet hasn't helped. It has and it hasn't. It hasn't helped because it gives people the illusion that I can hide behind the website and they will click the button. But for the expert, people need the conversation. They need to look at you in the eye, even if it's the electronic eye, and know not only that you can help because you have the expertise, that you care. And I know I get very passionate because what would be my dream? That nobody ever gets certified, goes to college or whatever, and leaves after making a significant investment of money and time and effort without knowing how to market their business if they want to.
And
that's what I would love to see happen. Like, this is the ultimate freedom. We're in the 21st century, and some people feel they don't have the choice, that they have to go take a job because I'm not able to have a conversation with a human being. If we can get honest and look at it, I'm a woman, right? Like, I have been able to choose who to marry, what to study, what job to have, or to start a business, or whatever it is. Like, but most of my colleagues, my friends, they went to college with me. Like, We graduated together. They chose the path of either I freelance, right? Terrible. Or, well, okay, go get a job. And I have no problem if you have a job, and that's what you want to do. My problem is when you perceive that you have no other options. That's when I have a problem, right? That when you wanted to do something different with your life, that's when I have a problem. That's when I really care. I'm not saying that you cannot come to a point when you can hire other people to do the sales part and whatever, but it is a big part. And I also like to use the words and call things the way they are called and not use other words, right? Like to avoid saying that we have to market and we have to sell, right? Like that the business depends on that everything else is, optional. But that's a big point. To get to do the work you love to do, you have to have people to help, right? And you have to be in business long enough to go on helping people.
And that brings up a point, because I see so many people that are in that position that when they hit a point of frustration, then they start reconciling their feelings and start justifying. And one of the big ones that I hear is, I'm able to help so many people. I'm really good at what I do. And there's so many people that need my help. I should just help people for free because they need my help, and they justify not having sales conversations because they use that as an excuse. What do you say to that type of, and it really doesn't make sense when you look at it at its face, but there's people that use that. What do you say and do to help people that have come to that conclusion?
It's very common, particularly the more you like helping others. The more it's like, well, I should give it all for free, right? And at least I'm doing something good. What's the problem? Leave the business perspective for a second and look at the person receiving that help. Usually, as human beings, we value what we invest in. So you are positioning to fail with that human being, because that human being is not going to take your help seriously enough. What you are lacking there is the investment, and not only the investment of money, the investment of time, of effort. Like you buy 2 books. One is like a $200 book, rare edition, and the other one is like a $5 book about the same topic. Which one are you going to read first? Well, okay, and the other one might go unread. How many of us download free stuff from the internet and never have a look at it? Because it's free. It's free. It's free. It's more or less saying it has no value, right? So you are setting the person that you are trying to help to fail. From the business point of view, when you are beginning your business, you are in no position to do that. But the more profitable and sustainable your business is, the more chances you have to help the people that really have no means to get your help, right? I have in my business a number of scholarships per year for young entrepreneurs from countries that really they cannot afford my help, right? Let's put it this way. But I could not start there. I could also not start by sitting down and write my life's work in an ebook and selling it for $20 because I would never be profitable. So that ebook is going to go to, nobody's going to get to see it or buy it because I don't even have the means to finance the success of that thing. How many do I have to sell to make that a business? It's a very complicated thing. Today, I'm writing a book that I'm happy if it helps one person on the planet, my mission is fulfilled. Most people will buy it out of curiosity, will never even open it. And it has golden nuggets inside. But today I can say, okay, I take the time and I do that. I'm in a different position, right? The money thing is another bad word, or apparently it is, right? So I don't want to appear greedy. What are they going to think of me?
You know, that is so true, and people have that issue. And what you say is really, I think, powerful because, you know, when people, when you talk about if you give this information away, it's not just doing a disservice to yourself by not getting paid for your knowledge, but it's also doing a disservice to the people that you are giving it away to, based on, you know, just the psychology, human nature of what they'll value that. But also when you do come across situations where people genuinely need your help and they may not be able to afford what you would, the true value of it, just because of their, perhaps the environment they're in, is that the only way that you're able to get to a point to do that is by ensuring your success and selling your information first to the people that need it and can afford it. Only then are you able to really reach the people that desperately need it, but it would typically be beyond their reach. Is that right?
It's right. And like we all like to help. We all like to help. But there is another point that is very seldom addressed, that the person that is suffering and needs your help, in whatever area it is, you know what? For that person who has tried maybe other solutions, you have to be the leader. They have to be able to borrow your confidence to get through the problem. So if when through your marketing, you are also a leader. Through your sales conversation, you are also a leader. So I tell you, like when I started my first business, like I would have conversations, and then when it comes to the money part, I was like, I start to twitch. It's like, what happened to this woman? Right? And that's what I was talking about, the very real experience, like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. Well, what confidence am I giving the person of the value they are investing in? Is she sure or is she not sure? Is she going to be able to lead me through this problem? And all of this doesn't come from, oh, I'm confident, positive thinking. Doesn't come from any of that. It comes from understanding the value of that result for the person and taking it seriously, so they see that you care enough to translate what you do in their language so they can understand you. They see that you are the person, you are the human being that is going to lead them through. And it's a question of respect too, right? It's also a question of respect and also saying, you know what? This is my recommendation. I'm not the person for you. This other person is a person that you should go to. If necessary, you should do, like, if you're not the person, you should say that too. It's not a question of like trying to make everybody give you money for things that you're not going to help them. It's not a question of tricking them. It's not false confidence. But if somebody says, well, like I can live with all this, like I can live with like having like a small business, fewer clients, nobody knows me. Well, some people just come who knows from where to work with me, and I have a little practice and I almost make no money, and I'm okay with that. Fine. But this is as much for you as it is for the person you're going to help.
Yeah, that's it's very, very, very powerful, thought that I think a lot of people don't consider when they are making those kinds of decisions. It's, and it's clear to why you're so successful at helping others become successful. What I want to know is what led you to doing what you do? What led you to being a coach and helping the people that you help?
Like the person like that loses the weight and then shows everybody how they did it successfully. Well, I was that expert. I graduated from university. I was a language expert. I had many, many years ago. I don't even want to remember how many years ago this was. And I started my first business. It was a coaching and training and consulting language business. It was not expertise, the problem. I had to get the clients. I was young, no contacts, nobody knew me, like in a very competitive market. But there was no option. My baby business, born there and then, had to live, had to survive. And back then there were not many baby business doctors. I was desperate. I was a desperate mother. I was like, every single minute that I was not working with clients, I was like, how am I going to figure this out? And I was the person that went to all the sales seminars, the person that bought all the books, the person that, and said, there is no way that I will do all this. I'd rather starve. So I was like, what's the solution to all this, right? So I kept what worked, threw away everything else, got mentors, successful professionals that build successful businesses doing what they love, who, by the way, happen to be my clients, right? So I was like, oh, look at them. This is how they do things. Oh, this is the moment when they write the book. It's not here, it's here, it's here. Oh, okay. So this is how they market. This is how they, okay. And then I went and implemented in my baby business. And my baby business started to grow. The fever went away, started to eat again, got successful to the point that the first clients I wanted to work with were big corporations. So I became a consultant to big banks and corporations. I was not even 30 years old, right? My competition was like, where did she come from? And I thought it was normal by then, right? Like, my colleagues, like, how do you do it? I come from a country with a terrible economy, today up, tomorrow down. Like, in any economy, you always have work. Like, you have a name. Everybody knows. If you cannot do it, nobody else in this city can. Like, how do you do this? Right? Where does it come from? Oh, come have a cup of tea with me. Or coffee or whatever you want. Show you what I've been doing. From that cup of tea and coffee, that grew into, let's spend a weekend together. Let's have a look how you're going to sell this, how you're going to market this. This, like, I cannot see that somebody that is talented cannot have a successful business. Whatever the size of the business, this is like, I'm not into talking about millions, and like, as you have seen, I haven't mentioned the 6 figures or the 7 figures or the 8 figures, like, and I won't. Like, but this pride that comes, I have a business that I'm proud of. That's important to me. Also in the way I conduct my business. That's what makes me the happiest. I went on with my language business for many, many years. I successfully sold that business, moved to China to work as a consultant, and I built a private college in China from scratch, the whole marketing, the whole content of the whole thing. But on the way to China, I met my German engineer husband, right? We dated, like, we had a long distance relationship for many years, so I didn't want to leave China. It was I was having a blast. Moved to Germany, to the middle of the countryside. There are more cows than people here, right? And what gave me the confidence to say, yes, I can move and marry the person I want to marry and spend my life with, is that I have the skills to build a business again, even in a country where I don't speak the language.
Remarkable.
So that's the kind of freedom I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the financial freedom. Let's go to the beach and let's have like margaritas on the beach. I'm not talking about that, right? Like, let's be real for a moment, right? So when somebody, another entrepreneur, another business owner looks at me in the eye, they know that I know what they are going through. And that has helped every single one of my clients. I have never asked them ever to do something that I am not willing to do, or something that it's like, oh my God, let's trick people into buying this, putting the red button instead of the yellow button. No. Well, no, I know it's simple, right? Like, I'm not leading with the millions.
Yeah, but it's wealth far beyond, the dollars and cents signs, and I think that's what most people are looking for, and that's what most people consider to be true wealth. Anna, tell us, how can someone find out more about you and your business and keep up with what you're doing?
Well, I do have a website, and I have something more important than a website. I wrote down a completely free course that is the substitute for coming and sitting down and having a cup of coffee with me. So where shall I start with all this? Even if I've been doing like this for a while, and I have clients here and there, and I don't charge much, and I charge per session, and I don't know how to structure the whole thing. Where do I start? What should I not do? What should I stop doing? The first thing, overwhelm out. Stop the madness. So if you go to my website, annarosenberg.com, you're going to find there a tab that says start here. That's where you could start. And it's the best substitute for a cup of coffee with me.
Well, that's fantastic.
I tell you all my secrets, what I have told all my friends for years.
Well, I certainly appreciate that for sure, and that is especially when you're living on the countryside of Germany, where there's more cows than people. This might be a great substitute to traveling there and having a cup of coffee with you. And I know that there's lots of people that have really made a change of course in their lives and their business by having that cup of coffee with you. So I think it's extremely valuable. So definitely need to go to visit that site and to download that for sure. And I want to thank you for being with us today and really sharing your passion and sharing things that most people don't hear about from coaches. That, the things that are underlying, the things that are more than 2 inches deep about how great they are and how great their life can be. You really went deep into, some of the obstacles and the misconceptions people have about becoming successful. So I want to thank you for sharing that today.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right. Fantastic. Well, there you have it, folks. Anna Rosenberg, extremely powerful stuff, and really digging into digging deep into some of the real problems that are stopping people that are extremely good at what they do, people that are extremely good at helping others, that is preventing them from being able to get out there and help more of the people that they can help. And there really is a solution. And Anna spent many years putting that together. So until next time, remember, you are the only real game changer.
You've been listening to Influencers Radio. To get all past shows and updates on future shows, visit influencersradio.com today or follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/influencersradio.